sample physics here again. We're looking at a question here that normally is taught at GCSE high level, high tier for triple science. We've got two objects here, an object mass A and mass B. Now before the collision, we are assuming that both of the objects are going to be travelling in the opposite direction as shown. One is travelling at 4 meters per second and mass B is travelling at 10 meters per second, in both coming towards each other. Now we're also going to assume that after collision we are going to say that both of the objects are going to impact and then move off in the opposite directions as shown here. So we've put that quite clearly here right now, before and after collision, but we've also stated that everything going towards the right is going to be positive. As a result, it's important to take into account how we use vector quantities, because when we look at vectors, we are essentially looking at the mass, which is 2 kilograms, times by the positive 4, which means it's moving towards the right. However, when we look at the momentum for mass B, we are saying the mass times by minus 10, hence it's moving in the opposite direction to the positive sign. This total momentum here is then equal to the momentum after a collision, where we have 2 times by the minus 6, because minus 6 is going in the opposite direction, plus 3 times the velocity, which is moving towards the right again. Now when we work this out, we get a calculation here, condensing down to the answer slowly. We have 2 times 4 is 8, minus your 30, which is then equal to minus 12, plus your 3v. When we turn the handle again and we come down to the final answer, we can see from here that we work our way through the whole calculation. We end up basically getting minus 22 here is equal to minus 12 plus 3v. Now obviously we need to bring the minus 12 over to this side here. When we do that, that minus 12 then becomes a positive 12, and as a result the answer here then becomes minus 10, which is equal to 3v, because 3v is then left over here on its own. The answer then, obviously we can see from here, is going to be a negative number, which is going to be minus 3.3 meters per second. What this shows you, because the answer is minus 3.3 meters per second, hence it's minus, that means that obviously when we take into account everything moving towards the right is positive, we can safely assume that this velocity here, which we just calculated to be equal to minus 3.3 meters per second, is actually going to be travelling not in this direction, but in fact this mass here will be travelling in the opposite direction. So in fact, when we have obviously the velocity being equal to minus 3.3 meters per second, okay, in fact it's actually moving towards the left instead. And this is how we calculate conservation of momentum when we have two objects that are moving in opposite directions. That's sample physics for now, and hope you join me again soon.